Magical fairy tales have always taken place in gorgeous and fantastic places. Disney films have made us dream of finding our true love and being whisked away to a magical land. But would you believe us if we told you some of these magical places are actually real? If you're new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe and give our video a big thumbs up. Get ready, because today we journey into 10 Disney movie locations that exist in real life. Aladdin, the Taj Mahal. In the 1992 film Aladdin, we were able to follow Aladdin's adventures through the city of Agrabah. The charming riffraff Aladdin roamed the streets in search of his next meal until he encountered the beautiful princess in disguise, Jasmine. In the slums of the city, Aladdin was able to show Jasmine the amazing view from his home. The Sultan's palace of Agrabah came to view in all its grand glory. The palace itself was inspired by the Taj Mahal in India. The city of Agrabah in Aladdin is also a nod to the city of Agra, where the Taj Mahal is located. If you see them side by side, it's easy to see how similar they are. Could you believe that this gorgeous palace is actually a mausoleum? The Taj Mahal was commissioned in 1632 by Emperor Shah Jahan and took 20 years to build. He wanted his wife Arjuman Banu Begum, better known as Mumtaz Mahal, to be buried there after she died during childbirth. The beautiful structure is built of white marble and sometimes seems to change color depending on sunlight or moonlight. The structure is inlaid with semi-precious stones like jade, amethyst, and turquoise. Sleeping Beauty, Neuschwanstein Castle. When we think of princess castles, we usually think of the iconic castle in Disney's Sleeping Beauty. This gorgeous castle is so iconic that it has even been featured in Disney's first theme park in California. Disneyland's Sleeping Beauty Castle is a popular photo op spot for all park goers. If you've ever dreamed of living in this castle, we have good news. Sleeping Beauty's castle was inspired by the Neuschwanstein Castle in Germany. It's easy to see why Walt chose this castle as an inspiration. It looks just like a fairy tale castle already. The castle was commissioned by King Ludwig II in 1869. Ludwig was known for being eccentric and innovative. He came up with many projects, but this was the most notable. He wanted a castle built on a steep rock high above the village. What makes this castle different from any of those in its time was its bright colors. The rooms in the castle also display King Ludwig's over-the-top and eccentric personality. With its fairy tale location in the Bavarian Alps in Germany, it's easy to understand why Walt Disney fell in love with this in the first place. The Little Mermaid, CHâTEAU de CHILLON. If you've ever wanted to be part of Ariel's world and live in Prince Eric's castle, we've got a surprise for you. How many of us wanted to rock Ariel's pink dress? Get your dingle hoppers and gadgets ready, because we are taking you to Prince Eric's castle. Yes, this beautiful castle is very much real, and yes, you can visit. Prince Eric's castle is based on the Château de Chillon on the west end of Lake Geneva in Switzerland. The first written account of this castle dates back to the year 1150. It was originally used as a fort to control the path between the lake and the mountains. It was later taken over in 1536 by the Bernese. It was used as a fortress, arsenal, and prison for 260 years. The castle then became a national property of the Canton of Vaud in 1803. The British poet Lord Byron visited the castle in 1816 and was inspired by the story of one of its inmates. Byron wrote the poem, The Prisoner of Chillon, which helped make the castle famous. With a view of Lake Geneva in the Alps, it's no wonder why this was the basis for Eric's castle. Frozen, Hôtel de Glace. When Disney's Frozen was released in 2013, we all sang Let It Go at the top of our lungs, right? We can all agree that Queen Elsa's ballad was catchy, but it was her ice dress and ice palace that took our breath away. Although we aren't sure how to explain Elsa's ice dress and cape, we do know that the ice palace is a work of art. Would you like to live in Elsa's palace? Well, you definitely can, because the real-life inspiration for the castle is in the Hôtel de Glace in Canada. The hotel first opened in 2001 and was founded by Guy Drouin. But what happens when the ice melts? The hotel is only open during the winter season, and the design varies every year. The hotel boasts 44 rooms and suites, along with ice furniture, sculptures, chapel, bar, and a grand hall. Local artists are hired to carve designs and sculptures. The hotel even created a Frozen suite, inspired by the film that was inspired by Anna and Elsa's bedrooms back in 2014. This gorgeous ice hotel is almost enough to make us surrender the sun, because the cold never bothered us anyway. The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Notre Dame Cathedral. One of the most beautifully animated films features a beautiful cathedral and the bell ringer Quasimodo. Disney's The Hunchback of Notre Dame is based on Victor Hugo's novel of the same name. If the name sounds a bit familiar, it's because he also wrote Les Miserables, which also was turned into a musical and a film. The Hunchback of Notre Dame story takes place in Paris, France, mostly around the actual cathedral. Okay, so we know that this one is pretty obvious, as the location is included in the title, but we love this film because of how true it stays to the location. The Notre Dame Cathedral was home to the deformed hero with the biggest heart and spirit, Quasimodo. We can see a lot of the cathedral in the animated version. It is impressive how much it looks like the real deal. From the stained glass windows, gargoyles, and the towers, the animated version is almost indistinguishable from the real cathedral. The filmmakers studied the inside of the cathedral and worked on replicating it as best they could. Unfortunately, the real one does not include talking gargoyles. Or does it? Emperor's New Groove. Machu Picchu. Emperor Cusco had us laughing with his sassy personality in the 2000 film The Emperor's New Groove. The selfishness of Emperor Cusco included ignoring the poor and planning to build a summer vacation home at the top of a hill. The hill, however, was occupied by PICCHU and his growing family. Cusco, of course, had no regard for the family until he was turned into a llama by the evil Yzma, who wanted to rule the empire. Cusco's journey as a llama not only humbled him and bonded him to a family, it also allowed us to see his surroundings. The beautiful jungles and mountains were inspired by the real-life ruins of Machu Picchu in Cusco, Peru. Yes, Emperor Cusco was named after the city Cusco. Clever, huh? Machu Picchu is located in the Peruvian Andes. Its walls, terraces, stairways, and ramps blend into the natural mountain setting. It is believed that Machu Picchu was built at the height of the Inca Empire during the 15th and 16th centuries. It's been said that the city served as an estate for Inca emperors, while others believe it could have been an area for testing crops and even a trade hub. Either way, we are glad Cusco decided not to build a summer house here. Brave. Donan Castle. The feisty and fiercely independent Merida charmed us in the movie Brave. Her adventurous spirit and skills with the bow and arrow made us all want to move to Scotland and learn archery, of course. Merida's home was Dunbroch Castle, which was inspired by not one, but two castles in Scotland. The first is the Donan Castle, which is now one of the most visited and important attractions in the Scottish Highlands. The castle's first structure was built on the island of Donan in the 13th century as a defense against Vikings. The castle has changed in sizes throughout the centuries and was abandoned for 200 years. Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae Gilstrap bought the island in 1911 and spent 20 years rebuilding Donan. The castle we see today is the same structure that was finished in 1932. The second castle is Dunatar Castle. It sits spread across the top of a flat top island surrounded by the North Sea. The natural pathways were destroyed to prevent attacks, but instead a new path was cut into the cliffs. We can totally see why these two castles were used for Dunbroch. The view around them is absolutely magical. Tangled. Mont Saint-Michel. Disney's 2010 movie Tangled was a magical and hairy adventure. Rapunzel's story began much the same as the original fairy tale, but with a twist. This Rapunzel was much sassier and had a pet and best friend chameleon named Pascal. She was locked away in a beautiful tower until runaway thief Flynn Rider came into the picture. She was then able to find out who she really was, a princess. Her world was set in the kingdom of Corona, which was a gorgeous island surrounded by water. Corona was inspired by Mont Saint-Michel in Normandy, France. The island was invaded by some of the highest tides in Europe, which means that it was sometimes cut off from the mainland as waters rise. The first structure on this island happened during the 8th century. The structure served as a monastery and was named after the Archangel Michael. The structure temporarily was turned into a prison, but closed in 1836. It was later declared that Mont Saint-Michel is a historic monument. The bay was also protected as it has been added to a list of World Heritage Sites. This island was definitely worth a visit, don't you think? Just don't get stranded with rising tides. Cars, Shamrock, Texas. Lightning McQueen sped onto screens in the hit movie Cars. Although we usually think of princesses and extravagant castles, Cars provided a breath of fresh air. Aside from featuring non-human characters, Cars also featured very realistic-looking locations and cars, except for the eyeballs and the talking, of course. Lightning's story began on the racetrack as a celebrity, but when he entered the town of Radiator Springs on Route 66, it started looking even more real. And for a good reason. One of the shops in the film was a real-life real-life location. Ramon's house of body art in the film was based on the U-Drop-In in Shamrock, Texas. In 1930, Highway 83 and the famous Route 66 were completed up through Shamrock, Texas. U-Drop-In was built around it in 1936, much like many shops. The building was built by J.M. Tyndall and R.C. Lewis and cost $23,000. The design represented the popular Art Deco style of the 20s and 30s. The building closed down when Route 66 was decommissioned, but was renovated in 2003 thanks to a $1.7 million grant. Now it is a museum, visitor center, and even a Tesla electric car charging station. We bet Lightning is a big fan of the upgrades. Beauty and the Beast, Château de Chambord. Love is a tale as old as time, wouldn't you say? Belle and Beast's love story is that of a fantastic fairy tale. The 1991 film was full of magic, including talking objects, dancing, a prince, and you guessed it, a castle. Such a beautiful castle had to take inspiration from somewhere equally fantastic, right? Well, the real-life inspiration for Beast, aka Prince Adam's castle, was the Château de Chambord. The Chambord is located in the Loire Valley, surrounded by woods. Sounds a bit familiar? The Counts of Blois had originally created a palace as a place to be used for hunting. In 1518, Francis I demolished it and built a massive mansion. The Chambord has 400 rooms, 80 staircases, 365 fireplaces, and is full of gorgeous high ceilings. The interior is the epitome of royal, and we can definitely see where Disney got their inspiration from. The ornate walls, paintings, and tapestries scream regal. Now, if being in here doesn't make you feel like a princess, we don't know what will. The live-action film takes this inspiration further as it all looks even more real. We hope this comes with a massive library. Which of these real-life locations was your favorite? Let us know in the comment section below. If you'd like to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.